The views expressed in this video presentation are my opinions and not necessarily opinions of guests and others sharing or reposting this video. The content is produced only for educational and informational purposes. Do not regard any statements in this video as a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. Investing comes with risk to loss of principal. Always conduct your own research and seek guidance from a professional investment advisor. I am not a professional investment advisor. I'm Dollar Will. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about real estate. Got into a spirited, let's just say a spirited discussion uh, last night on the Brain Trust. Someone's, several statements kind of set me off. But the main one is an unqualified statement that housing is always a good investment. Let's see. That requires qualification. And instead of me, going on and on about my opinion, I'll just say this much. It depends on how much you got the house for, how much it costs. It depends on how long you're willing to stay in the house. I would say those are the two driving factors. Because, and it depends on where, and to a certain degree, a big degree, if you didn't get the house at a steep discount, it depends on if you bought at the top of a cycle or not. That's key. Because if you sell at the top of a cycle, it can take you 7 to 10 years to get back to that same point. 5 to 10 years, a long time, not no 2 or 3, to return to that level. So if you purchase something like a house and you didn't get it at a steep discount, you might want to be prepared to stay there for a while. So that could come at the risk of turning down a job opportunity and things like that might require that you move within, say, 5 to 7 or 10 years. And if you buy that house at that moment, that might not work out for you. Marriages don't even last long enough to get you through a cycle. And you could buy at the top of a market because you just got married, and you could get divorced while you're upside down in the mortgage. So it's just the unqualified nature of the statement. These are things that are statements that we believe that must be challenged whenever we hear those kinds of statements. So what I have here is an article from I'm not going to really read this one. I'm just going to just get right to the meat of it. Real house prices fell in these 5 cities over the last 12 months. And this is, his brother says he writes about real estate, economics, home buying, and house selling. I don't know if he's a financial planner or what his deal is. Let's see. He's an agricultural economist turned real estate agent who got a ringside seat to the real estate boom and bust of the 2000s. Ever since I've been trying to figure out ... I don't need to go that far. I'm going to put this below the video so you can see it for yourself. But this guy reports the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. It's got 20 homes in 20 areas in the index, and a national average. We have 5 that are negative. So 5 out of 20 would represent 25% of the markets in the study. And major areas like DC, New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, I think Chicago is on here somewhere. I thought I saw that. Atlanta, Charlotte. Is Chicago on here? Oh, Chicago. I was going to say, how are we going to forget Chi-Town? So, you got Miami in here. Yeah. So everywhere that people would want to live or that people would consider the most desirable areas are represented in this 20. Um, if 25% of the homes are already trending down, that's something to note. Now I'm just going to get on with the advice of other people who are uh, opinions are respected. Grant Cardone, okay, he's international sales. He says, should you own a home, unless you have 20 million bucks in the bank in cash, you have no business buying a house. People think the only way to save money is to buy a house. Susie Orman thinks you have no way to earn any real money for yourself, so she advises you to buy a house as the only way to get your money. You will get your home paid off when you're old. Who wants to wait until you're old to have money? A home is not an investment because it doesn't pay you every month. In fact, you have to pay it every month. That's why a house is not an asset, it's a liability. Nothing is a good deal if you have to feed it constantly. People ask, why would you pay rent when you could buy? The answer he provided is because you can't leave. Who wants to go to jail for 30 years? You can be mobile and nimble if you rent. Mobility is a great thing in today's world. Why settle down? Invest the money in yourself or your business. Your money needs to be free. I've been investing in multifamily real estate for over 25 years. If you want a great opportunity to create income for yourself, realize that America is becoming a nation of renters. How many reasons do you need to buy multifamily real estate? Apartments offer high cash yield, build equity, give tax advantages, and let you use leverage. A $400,000 purchase can be bought with 25% of the price, allowing you to leverage $100,000 to control 4 times the value in physical property. Stocks or gold can't touch that. The house, much like a college education, has been fed to you as the American dream. Really, it's a middle class myth perpetuated by outdated thinking, politicians, and mass media. Buying a house may have worked for previous generations, but old ways of doing things aren't viable in 2016. We are not in the 1950s. Things have changed and people refuse to adjust. A house is not an investment. I want to give you 3 tips to make true investments. Invest in yourself. I'm not gonna go there. Focus on income. Get a job, make money. All right. Invest in something that pays you. Uh, yeah, yeah. That's the gist of that. Gonna do another, run down the survey, see what other people have to say about it. Experts everywhere tell you to buy a home. Here's why they're wrong. This article came out in February of 2018. There's chances are you've gotten some version of the following advice at some point. You should buy a house because it's a good investment. Even if it seems like the next logical step in your financial plan or in your life, think twice before making the commitment. Owning a home isn't always the sound investment it's made out to be, maintains Eric Roberge, a chief financial planner and founder of Beyond Your Hammock. A single family home is not an investment, Roberge tells CNBC Make It. It may gain money over time, but if you're looking to invest, buying a single family home and then living in that home is not the place to do it. Before handing over a down payment, consider your priorities. Do you want a place to call your own that you can decorate and design as you wish? Are you planning to start a family and looking for a space you can grow into? Or are you mostly looking to boost your net worth? Boost, I'm sorry. I'm thinking bling in here. Or are you mostly looking to boost your net worth? There are plenty of excellent reasons to purchase a home. But if your priority is to grow your money, invest in the market, investing in the market is going to provide far more lucrative returns. That's stock market. And I want to add right here, a lot of people don't think of this, but because I got into this debate with my best friend actually. He and his wife are flipping property, and but they bought something at a steep discount, so steep that although the market is not accelerating as much as it was, and may even start turning down before they're able to get rid of it, they got the price deeply discounted, maybe 50% off from the current retail price, and the house should be going on the market within 30 days. So this is their second flip, so they have a little experience. They knew this time. They had their crew and their contractor all lined up, and so it might work because they it should work because they bought it steeply discounted. So I'm not even saying that a house is a bad purchase. I'm saying it depends. That's my opinion. It depends on a lot of those factors I brought up. I personally owned a house for 25 years, and I happened to purchase it around 1994 at a good point, and I just sold it in 2014, mostly because I wanted to be mobile. You know, let's see. There are plenty of excellent reasons to purchase a home. But if your priority is to grow your money, investing in the market is going to provide far more lucrative returns. Returns on the residential housing market are not making anybody rich, Roberge says. You're barely keeping up with inflation, not to mention all of the costs that go along with owning a home. Indeed, a study from London Business School and Credit Suisse found that after adjusting for inflation, housing offered returns around 1.3% per year from 1900 to 2011. That's 111 years. I guess that's a pretty good sample of what reality is. Okay. By contrast, the average annualized total return for the S&P 500 over the past 90 years is 9.8%. So that's 1.3% for homes, 9.8% for the S&P 500. Owning a home may help you save money, but it won't help you make money, concludes CNBC's Diana Orlick, citing another new study conducted by Florida Atlantic University, Florida International University, and the University of Wyoming. Some big money people in Wyoming, a lot of rich folk. Investing is owning a property. That's what I told my friend that was in a house flipping thing, because he said to me, most of the people that are millionaires own real estate. And I said, that's somebody told you that at a daggone real estate convention. I said, if you think about it, you're not telling me how many of them own real estate stock. It's not really, you can own real estate in the form of a stock, in the form of a REIT. You can, and you don't have to worry about the leaky roof and tenants. Okay, so you don't have to manage anything. So there are many ways to be involved. Because he was under the impression that real estate home values, that they appreciated like on a different scale than uh than say stocks for real estate sector. I'm like, so I straightened that out, and he took a hard L on that one because he's not really a fan of being a landlord. So he's after this flip, because I told him, I said, you got to pay the real estate agent a percentage to sell that house. And you can sell that stock for probably about $6 or $7 in 30 seconds. Try that with a house. Okay. So anyway, what people then tend to say is that you're building equity in the home. Robert says that is true. It's forced savings. However, if you're stringent with yourself and you're strict with your own savings, you don't need to have forced savings into a home. You can save in an investment account. Likewise, buying a home because it feels like the next logical step in your life plan isn't a good enough reason to take on all of that responsibility. It's a commitment of of both. Wow, it's a commitment of both of your time and your finances. This is not very well written. There's there's no right time to buy a house. Robert says it all depends on your lifestyle and what you need. Again, I think it worked out for me. And even the forced savings idea, at some point in time in the DMV area, I had a 3 bedroom townhouse. There were people paying. Let's see, I think my mortgage was 1,300. There were people living in apartments, maybe 2 bedrooms in some cases and 1 bedrooms in other cases, depending on where the apartment was located. They were paying about $1,200, and my mortgage was $1,300, and I had a whole house. So I'm not anti real estate, and okay, it was forced savings, but if I was renting, paying $1,200 a month, how much more was I really going to be able to save above the rent? Especially when you factor in the interest that I was able to write off on the mortgage. So uh, I think I saved more money by buying when I did, as the market continued to appreciate. And when I sold my house, I made, let's see, above my purchase price, I made, I guess, about 60%, 60% above my purchase price. That's pretty good. It wasn't, I was living in Prince George's County. If I was living in Montgomery County, oh man, I'd have made over 100%. What are you going to do? Racism. However, other experts take the opposite view on homeownership. David Bach, co-founder of AE Wealth Management and self-made millionaire, meanwhile calls not buying a home the single biggest mistake millennials are making, even with the tax law changes. He notes, and click this link if you need to get up on the tax law changes. As you see, I did. Even with the tax law changes, he notes buying a home is the escalator to wealth in America. Homeowners are worth 40 times more than renters. Uh, yes, but let's break that down. He's including people in the past that had a more generous tax environment, and you're talking about an extremely long bull market. For my Elliott Wave practitioners, most long-term Elliott Wave counters, we are coming to the same opinion. Back in 2017, when I started, when I first revealed my Elliott Wave count on BGS's show, and I said that what we're calling the Great Depression, that was wave 2, and the bottom after that Great Depression decline started wave 3, and wave 3 is the peak that we just experienced in these markets right now. So when this guy talks about the data for during that run, it's going to look like you can't lose with housing. Just as people say you can't lose with buying stocks, that you should just buy and hold. Well, there are exceptions to every rule. And if you are an Elliott Wave theory trader, technical trader, you are, especially if you apply Elliott Wave theory to what we call, or what is known as, the super cycle. You can Google that, uh, super cycle. I think you may have to write in Elliott Wave theory super cycle or stock market super cycle, either one, stock market super cycle, and you'll see. Or you can watch, if you don't, if you want to see a long term, like over 100 years worth of analysis of the wave count, go to my channel and look at the very first video I ever posted. Okay, so. I was a little nervous. That was my first video, but the information is sound, and I when I posted that, I didn't see anybody else on YouTube that that put that opinion out there about applied Elliott wave theory, a century view to Elliott wave theory, what I call the slavery trade, the emancipation trade, because it seems to have started around emancipation. Okay, so I never saw anyone post anything like that. Now everybody's doing it. I'm not saying that they got it from me or they're copying from me. I'm saying that they are applying the principles of Elliott wave theory just as I did, and they're reaching the same conclusion. Okay. Wikipedia has an excellent uh, description of Elliott wave theory if you just want to read that, and then lots of videos here on YouTube about it. So yeah. So this, of course, the date. All that to say, when you have a massive run like we had in the 1930s all the way to now, everybody looks smart. No matter pretty much anything you invested in went up. So buy and hold seemed like the right thing to do. Um, but again, if you're an Elliott wave theory trader, you know that there is a correction to every one of these bull runs, and we believe that we're in that danger zone of a correction. And if this Dow and S&P starts picking up steam, here's what let me define picking up steam. Declines of 2% or more per day are rare. So for the stock to go down 1% here and there a day, I wouldn't say that that's panic necessarily. That's normal. You can look through the years and find movements of 1.5%, 1% a day. That's kind of normal. But 2% moves, you might only get one or two of those a whole year. If this market starts having consecutive days of 2% or more, then you'll know that something structurally is wrong. Again, all of this is just my opinion. Talk to your own financial advisor. I'm just a dude on YouTube that's been trading for about 30 years. Take this information, research it yourself, use it to help you be more prepared to talk to your own well-chosen financial advisor. Ask them if what I say make any sense to you. Ask them to debunk it, support it, or what have you. Your financial institutions, a lot of banks offer for financial guidance. You have money there. If they offer you a free hour, a lot of them do. You'd be surprised. Take advantage of it. Call up your plan administrator. I mean, the company that helps manage your retirement fund at work. Don't wait for hell to break loose. Call them up. Have a talk with them. See if you are concerned. Ask them for some guidance. That's what they're there for, and they're qualified to give you some guidance. Let me continue. Let's be honest. Renters make landlords rich. Bach tells CNBC make it. I want you to make yourself rich, so start by saving money for a down payment. Now, Tony Robbins suggests you split the difference and buy a house, not a home, the kind that can bring money in. If you can own real estate with an income is the kind to focus on, says Robbins, because it's more valuable. Now that makes perfect sense. At the end of the day, the decision to buy a house, a home, or to continue renting comes down to your goals and lifestyle. Make sure you're making key choices for the right reasons. I like Mr. Robbins made a lot of sense on that. I mean, you can't argue with that logic. Let's see. I saw that one already. Let me. The truth, your house is not an investment. I'm probably not going to read all of this. This is written by Kevin Mercandante. Does he have any credentials? That's what I'm trying to see. Well, they don't say. Well, you don't say. They don't say. Your house won't generate cash flow. Carrying costs can really work against you. Costs are too high for it to be an investment. Mortgage underwater. Here are your options. Home equity line of credit. Yeah, this is a really good time to talk to a financial advisor, especially if you have your parents and they sitting on some nice equity and they're like 67 or older or something like that. Um, do some research about a reverse mortgage and talk to a financial planner about it and talk to your parents about it and see if that's something that they're interested in. What that is basically it's a loan against the equity in your house that your parents don't have to ever pay back. I know it sounds too good to be true. So basically, what happens, I think you can get something like 60% of the equity converted to cash, and they just get the mortgage, a mortgage company, not the one who has your mortgage now, one that makes reverse mortgages. They'll give you that money, and if you're both of your parents are alive, it can be set up so that the surviving spouse can still live in the house for the duration of their life. And then when that parent dies, the children at that point they have a certain amount of time. I don't remember if it's 9 months or 1 year. You have a certain amount of time to pay back the loan, the 60% that your parents receive. Um, let's say if the house has enough equity in it, you could possibly put another mortgage on it and pay it back that way, possibly. Um, or you can use your own resources and refinance the home. Now, all of that would be predicated on if refinancing the home or even paying the loan back is worth it. The neighborhood may have gone down. Nobody may not want to live there. It may not make mathematical sense, financial sense to pay to pay back the loan. If you decide that you don't want to pay back the loan, then the bank gets the house. So, but look it up. Type in reverse mortgage and look it up. Okay. I just know a little bit about it because I had my father do it. Okay. uh, and he's happy with it. And as for my siblings, we don't know what we're going to do. My father's still healthy, so it depends. Nobody, I don't. He's got one child, adult child that lives in that city. So who knows what's going to happen with that? But I'm glad that he did it because it just took any financial pressure off of him in his retirement. So he has no money problems whatsoever. Lives in a city, a major city where the prices are appreciated wonderfully. Let's just say a big city in the Northeast. Okay. And he's quite happy. And we're all happy that he's happy. So all right. It's not an investment just because it appreciates. Okay. Well, I'm going to put this in there. You can read that. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. When buying a home is not a good investment. It's Director of Retirement Research. You know what? I don't want to read this either. It's some pretty good information, but you kind of get the point. Is buying a house always a good idea? you know, but last night it is what it sounds like it is. It's a platform for uh, uh, black folks in the manosphere. I did say it's primarily men, but women are not excluded. It's a place for all of us to share information that's of use to we're calling the black man, what we know of as the black manosphere. So that's the Brain Trust. They have a new program every night, different topic throughout the week, usually starting around 8 p.m. or thereabout Eastern, around 8 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, so we had a little spirited debate last night about is buying a home always a good idea, and my position is that statement needs some qualification on it. It's not buying a home is not always a good idea. Today's show was to demonstrate that it's not just that I'm not alone in that opinion. That there are some qualified folks and certified financial planners and people like that who also share the same opinion. Uh, it's very soon. I'm going to do another video about another meme I'm going to destroy. That gold is a safe investment. Always these unqualified statements that we make, we have to get rid of. We have to challenge this stuff because we live in a changing environment. There's no such thing as always anything, which you have to always think. You have to always uh, uh, have understanding of the trends and be able to manage risk by knowing when you are near the end of a trend and when the odds of you making money are diminishing. At some point in that process, saving money becomes more important, or saving money, or more specifically saving your profits, become more important than making more money. So that's it. Let me get up out of here. Read those charts. Stay tuned to this channel. Consider joining my Patreon, where I get deeper into trading and I go show much more information than what you will see on this channel. Get into some deep strategy. I'm starting a trading, I guess we can call it a contest. It's not a prize or anything. Let's just say a demo trading club. I'd rather call it a club because we're not going to have prizes. Your knowledge is your prize. But the idea is that we're going to keep each other accountable. I'm going to show you some trading rules to follow, and you can start to gain your discipline in following the rules with no money lost. And so at some point in time, you'll gain a better understanding of it. And, you can transition to putting some real skin in the game, some real money in the game. You never know. You might be a great trader, you know? Um, if you're disciplined, that's really is the thing that determines if you're a good trader. Because someone has been trading longer than you, it doesn't mean that you can't quickly better them, you know? Because an undisciplined trader, if you have discipline, they'll keep making the same mistakes over and over. And if you're the type that can learn from mistakes, you can learn very, very quickly. I mean, yeah, there's so much high quality information out there, but by the same token, there's just so much information out there, period. And you need someone to say, okay, don't worry about that information right now. You need to start here, here, and here. Learn this first. And then you graduate to these other things. You need like a systemic approach. Because otherwise, it could take years to teach yourself when it could take months to learn it under some kind of structure and guidance. So that's it. Peace.